Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Just Plain Living, and I'm John Gray.
I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller. And this could be a very scary show because 2 seconds before we go on the air, John says, I got nothing.
And I said, I've got nothing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, why? And I never have anything. So,
We've got
we're
something.
in big trouble.
We've got something.
Busy week.
Busy week, yeah. It was. Hey, look at there, Rooster Wear, right there.
That's cool.
If you know, cotton shirts. One thing about cotton shirts is, over time, cotton shrinks.
Does it?
Well, the collars seem to shrink.
Couldn't possibly.
Maybe I'm getting
Maybe one
bigger.
doesn't-
You know, I'm glad you pointed that out because I thought, dadgum, I'm gaining some weight here, but it's the shirt.
No.
All along it's
the
been the shirt.
Like my jeans
No.
are too tight.
Yeah, okay.
No,
shrink.
cotton does over a period of time. I mean, you can measure a shirt and it'll be, when you get it, say it's a 16, 5 years later or 6 years later, it won't be that
It's a 14.
anymore. No, it doesn't go down that much, but it goes down a little bit. So when you can't button the collar,
You put your
you
tie
take your
in
bow tie
pocket.
that matches your shirt and put it in your coat pocket
Yeah.
and use it as a pocket scarf.
Well, you know, that's a cool idea, actually.
Yeah, and that way you can wear your Rooster Wear whether you got it on your neck or not.
Right.
Exactly. You know, I know somebody that has 2 old dogs that they need. This is so off the subject, but I just thought about it.
You look at me and Jimmy, and Peggy says, I know somebody that's got 2 old dogs,
But no,
and you're sitting in between 2 of
I
them.
know. But let me tell the story. It's a cousin that I love very much recently died, and he has 2 dogs that we need to find homes for. And it's sad.
Old dogs.
Yeah, they're kind of older
And
dogs.
children and watermelon wine.
Yeah. Anyway, if anybody wants to care for some dogs, give me a call.
We'd help you with that, Peggy, but you come in here and insulted John
I
and
know,
I
I'm
first
sorry.
thing this morning,
I'm
you know.
sorry.
Called us a couple old dogs.
Yeah.
You're pretty good old dogs.
Goodness gracious. And in all seriousness, though, I know older pets sometimes have harder
It
time
is.
finding
They're
finding
very
homes, so,
sad. They,
yeah.
you know, they get very sad. They're just like people when they lose somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Very sad.
I don't think she's here yet, but permanently. But our friend Teddy Bart that passed away recently, his daughter is sort of a different type of lady, and she's always dealt with animals. And she has, where she lives in, I believe it's in South Carolina, and she's moving over here, animal farm
And she takes
where she takes in old animals, and sort of like an animal nursing home is what it is, and people who have older animals that they have trouble caring for them, everything from wild animals to pets,
donkeys or
and
cats, dogs.
and some people that know that they're going to pass, and they have pets that have been their friends for years. They will make a donation to her organization.
That's wonderful.
And then once they pass away, she'll take their pets and care for them and feed them and have a good home for them.
So they
and
set that up before
as a
they die.
501c3 type of a
Yeah.
deal, you know.
That's a good deal.
And but I just thought that was pretty
That
cool.
is very cool. And
Because there's something that you can't just
sure, you can't.
put them down. Well, you can.
Well, I think it's better to put
But-
them down than turn them out on the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Personally.
yeah.
I would never do that. You know, there are people that drop animals off. To me, that's the cruelest thing you can possibly do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
You know.
it's better to.
And people, it's
Let 'em
funny.
go.
I was talking about Rooster Wear, about my tie here, and that my son Jacob and his wife Cindy have Rooster Wear. They have found a niche market in bow ties for dogs.
You're kidding.
People dress their dogs
Oh, yeah.
now. I mean, you know that.
They do. I know
You look
they
at
do.
these little ones like Doodlebot.
Yeah.
You know, they've got sweaters and hats and pants and
An outfit for every occasion.
and bow ties.
And if it's
They're
a
wearing
girl
bow
dog, they
ties
got a
on their
little skirt.
collar. Yeah. So it's a crazy
It's a
deal.
big
It's
business.
probably is a good business because I know Pamela, who's actually the owner of Doodle Bop, buys something all the time for that dog.
It's a cute dog.
You know, and I don't think Doodle Bop will actually wear it We had a cat one time that every time you put something on it,
Go crazy.
it would flop over. It couldn't walk. You know. So.
I know.
Hey, speaking about cats and dogs, is Charlie? Are your crows still around?
No, my crows left. There was a stray cat that I was actually feeding as well, and apparently he was a killer. And
great.
he climbed up in a tree that must have been about 50 foot high, where they had a nest,
Oh my gosh.
and apparently got their eggs or something one spring, a year before last.
So the crows
Yes,
are gone.
so they left.
Yeah, that's too
So,
bad.
You know,
They're smart.
Yeah, they are.
They're smart. They looked down there and said, Fuller, the peanut man. Because Fuller'd throw peanuts out in the driveway for them crows.
Oh yeah, they eat good.
And
They'll eat anything.
the crows looked down there one day and said, the peanut man is gone, and brought a cat in here.
Right. So what are we gonna
Well,
do?
I didn't
We're outta here.
think I didn't think the cat would climb that high in
Yeah.
a tree. I mean, the cat was insane, I'm sure, but they
All cats are insane.
but they when they would see him coming, they'd come out they'd get out in front of the office and start, just
Howling.
raising Cain
Yeah.
me to get rid of that cat, because they don't like cats.
No.
So,
They had found a
Not mine.
home with you.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
yeah, I know. Took me forever to train them.
Yeah.
They follow him home.
I love that. Crows in the house.
Crows, they're smart. They're very smart animals.
I know.
Or birds.
Birds, yeah.
I guess birds are fowl, not animals.
I used to know a sailor that had a bird. He talked like a sailor. He was really bad.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, Peggy, did your football teams win this last
I
weekend?
think so. I don't know. I was busy with artistic things.
Artistic things.
Yes, I was.
Had Jazz on Jackson on Saturday night and
Kate Stringer on
Stringer
Sunday.
on Sunday. Had two good shows at South Jackson this weekend.
Did your football teams win, John?
I was kind of pulling for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
And that bunch of cheeseheads, and but they just Seattle didn't win that game. They lost it. I mean, they just self-destructed.
Yeah, you wonder sometimes about the coaching and the play calling, but then on the other hand, they make a whole lot more money than we do. So they they probably,
They know something. And then when Seattle won, I was thinking, well, I'd like to see Andrew Luck and the Colts win, to where those two young quarterbacks could play in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But Belichick and Brady just destroyed them.
Yeah, and then of course now there's a big controversy about Belichick ordered somebody to let part of the air out of the footballs. I never heard of
great.
such. I don't
That would be
know.
a terrible thing.
There's an investigation in the NFL.
You're kidding.
Yeah, about that now. Yeah.
Well, even at high school level, when the umpires at a high school football game will inspect the game balls,
Right.
and one of them will have an air gauge on him, and they will check the air in the game balls, because they're supposed to be in between 12 and a half and 13 and a half pounds per square inch is what the guidelines are. And you can manipulate that anywhere within that pound, depending on whether you, as a quarterback, like a ball harder
Yeah.
or softer. But they say that
can't go over or under.
Over or under. Well, nobody would want to go over, because the ball would be bigger, tighter, and
Yeah.
slicker. So, but going under would be the thing to make the ball a little bit softer, to where it'd be easier to control and to hold on to,
Now,
particularly in the rain.
I started to say, I bet
that
that'd make a big difference if the weather conditions.
But
are
the
really
thing about it is,
ideal.
they check the balls. The umpires, each team has, I think they said 12 game balls, and they are given to the umpires.
And they're all checked.
They're all checked, and then they're taken back to the sidelines to throw in and out. And they're thrown. Each team has their own ball.
Yeah.
And they're thrown in and out. Those umpires and referees handle those balls 1,000 times during a game.
Sure.
If there was something extremely wrong about
It
this,
looks like they'd notice.
they would figure that out.
Right, you'd think, yeah.
And as far as the Colts are concerned, they don't care, because they ran the Patriots didn't throw the ball but about 25 times. They ran the ball 80, 90 times.
Oh, that's right.
You know, and scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, the Colts were beat if they never threw a pass.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just something to talk about.
I guess Belichick's always suspect because remember he got caught filming.
Spygate.
Yeah, spying on the other team to steal their signal. So
Practice. They practiced filming them during their practice.
Yeah, right. And I think they fined him like $500,000 for that.
And some, well, they didn't fine him. They fined the
team.
Patriots. Yeah. And I mean, there was even something said yesterday about if they had a real fast club coming in, they'd soak the field down for 2 days before they came there, where it'd slow them down. And
Good grief.
you know, they don't. It's just people. Yeah, excuse me if I doze off. I got nothing.
I got nothing.
We got nothing. We still got 2 more minutes. You know.
I'll tell you what. I do have something. I was talking with a friend yesterday, Billy Earhart's mom.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Billy and his play and his success and everything like that. And I was saying, well, you know, he needs to come back here sometime and play for the 41A Festival or something.
Yeah.
And she said, usually when he comes here, he just sort of hangs out and hides. He said, you know, nobody around here really knows how famous Billy really is. And because he's just demanded, I mean, he's playing more now than he did even when he was playing with Hank. And
Billy Earhart, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, was with the Amazing Rhythm Aces. I think
keyboard player.
They're still together, aren't they?
Yeah, the Aces, and then he played with the Bama Band.
Right.
Played with Hank Williams Jr. He was keyboard player for Hank for years, and now he's playing in Clarksdale, Mississippi at Morgan Freeman's Blues Place, and in Memphis he plays on Beale Street a lot, and he's just playing all the time.
We need him on our stage.
And that's what I told his mom. I said, you know, next time he's in town,
that'd be great.
You know, I'd love for him to come around and talk. And she said, well, I'll see. She's getting ready to have, and that's Miss Earhart's getting ready to have her 85th birthday.
Awesome.
Unbelievable.
And she said they would probably go to Memphis and meet up over there because he plays a lot over there, and both of her daughters live over there. So I had something.
Yeah, you did have
And
some.
unfortunately, this segment is over now.
Okay, we made it through, folks.
Right.
Don't you go away. It'll get better. I promise. Pay attention to the sponsors.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For the past 34 years, we've proudly served you in the new and pre-owned automotive industry. We look forward to serving you many years to come. We have over 1,000 vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com. That's Russell Barnett Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, GMC, and Ford of Winchester, and Russell Barnett Ford and Kia of Tullahoma. That's russellbarnett.com. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I have on the set with me today Miss Kelly Goon from Glick and Wood Dental, what do you call it?
Glick and Woods Dentistry.
Okay, and you're the secretary or whatever, you take the phone calls.
Yeah, patient coordinator.
And y'all are fixing to do something that's really nice.
Yes, this
Tell me
is
about it.
an annual event. We do it every year. It's something that we call it Check and Shine. It's something that we do, just try to reach out to the community, help some of the children in the community who may not be able to get regular dental care.
Yeah.
And it also benefits a local charity, Haven of Hope. So what we do Saturday, January 31st this year, in celebration of February being National Children's Dental Health Month, we actually will hold a free cleaning event for children ages 4 to 10.
And so if people want to get lined up for this,
They'll
they
just-
need to call or
Give our office a call.
Okay, what's the phone number? I
The
think that'd
number-
be nice to put that up.
Yes, it's 931-455-3917.
3917. You people in the back, if you'd put that up, it would be great. 455-3197.
3917.
3917.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
dyslexic. I get that. There we go. Write that down because it's the 31st.
Yes.
From what hours?
From 9 o'clock until whenever we're finished. So as long as we have patients there scheduled to come in,
That's
then we will
wonderful.
be there.
Because you know, just to pay for all that is fairly expensive.
Yes, yes, it
And
can get quite
it's really
pricey.
important to take care of teeth.
It is.
It needs to start at
It starts at a young
when
age.
is the first age?
Well,
do you
generally,
know?
once all of the baby teeth have come in, then you at least want to get them in, get them used to sitting in the
Sure.
chair, and get comfortable with the whole idea of seeing a dentist.
So they're not afraid. I
Exactly.
think that's the most important thing.
Exactly, it is.
And it becomes fun.
And we won't force any children who aren't comfortable to do anything they don't want to do. It's strictly a fun event. The kids get balloons, they get a free toothbrush. We make it fun for the kids, so it's something
And
that
they
they
have clean
want to
teeth
do.
when they leave.
And their teeth are clean.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
And you've done it how many years?
I haven't done my homework,
That's
but we
okay.
should be somewhere in around the 20th year, if
That's
not a little
wonderful.
longer. And what we do is, because we offer the services free of charge, we do ask that parents bring a $10 donation per child, no more than 25 max for a family.
Yeah.
And that donation, the entire donation goes to Haven of Hope. So
And,
it's a fully charitable
and
event.
what is it that Haven of Hope
They
takes
are
care
a
of?
local shelter
Right.
for women and children
been abused,
who either
possibly?
abused or are homeless. Yes.
That's a wonderful organization.
is. It
I
is.
actually
And we
knew
work-
that, but I thought we should kind of talk about it.
We
because
work with
I
them
think
every year.
Sometimes people out there don't know that we actually have a shelter like that.
And that is true.
And it's
I know that
important
it's
that they know that.
pretty quiet around here that there are
And it takes a
places
lot
like
of-
that.
It takes a lot of money to keep it going.
Absolutely.
So anybody that wants to donate to that wonderful cause, whether you need your teeth cleaned or not, it's
Absolutely.
a good thing to do.
Absolutely. We do actually have several patients over the years that I've been there with them who have come and just given donation money. They don't have a child to bring with
Sure.
them, but they
it's- it's
want to
such an
support the
important
cause.
thing.
So
'Cause I can't imagine a child going through life, then suddenly they're 25 and their teeth are rotting out. And they should
Absolutely.
have been checking on it all the way through.
Absolutely. And this just gives parents the opportunity, if there isn't dental insurance or their employer doesn't provide any type of
Exactly.
benefit like that, that, the doors are
Do you know
open.
how many children you might have done last year?
Well,
last few
throughout
years?
the years that I've been there, we generally see about 30 children
During that
on the
day,
Check and Shine
on
event.
Check and
Mhm.
Shine.
Yeah.
And,
And it varies every year. Sometimes weather plays a part. And,
Yeah.
being the end of January, beginning of February, it kind of.
Well, I know myself, if I didn't go at least twice a year to get my teeth cleaned, I'd be very unhappy. I feel so good when I leave.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a wonderful thing to do. I've known
Absolutely.
Kim Glick since she was a young girl. And
Yeah.
I know she does beautiful work.
She does. She's a
I'm sure
great
you-
dentist.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
person.
both of them
And a
are.
wonderful boss.
And aren't you lucky to work for her, Kelly?
Yes, I am. Thank you very
How
much.
long have you worked there?
I've been 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
All right, let's again make sure everybody knows the age of the children involved is
Ages 4 to 10.
4 to 10. And then the hours are
Starting at 9 o'clock, and we'll schedule them throughout the day
and
until
it's
then.
the 31st of January. And it's a wonderful opportunity to get your children started with good dental care.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's just so important, regardless of, even if you don't make it to that day, be sure to get appointments.
Absolutely.
If you can afford it. try to make
Anytime,
sure
give
you
us a
do it.
call. We're always seeing new patients, and we do see children all the way up.
All the way up.
So,
And when when you're doing dental work, of course, I know you're the secretary, but there's so much more to it than just cleaning your teeth.
Absolutely.
And so they do crownings. They
Yes.
do. I can't think of all
We
the
would
things
do
that
your
need to be
normal
done.
fillings, bridge work, dentures. We have a lab here in town that we work with that does all of our dental
And that gets it
restorations.
fixed very quickly because you go right to the
Exactly.
other place.
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited of the fact that you all are doing this wonderful giveaway to children that might never have the opportunity
Absolutely.
to have their teeth cleaned.
Absolutely.
And I think if people set an example and they get disciplined to thinking, oh my gosh, it's time for me to get my teeth cleaned, then maybe that will go through life and they'll understand how important it is to keep their teeth
Exactly.
clean.
Exactly.
Well, any last words?
I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to get the word out a little bit more.
Well, I want to thank you for bringing this information to us.
Absolutely.
And Miss Kelly, it was nice to meet you.
It was very nice meeting you,
We'll
Miss
be
Peggy.
back with some other things.
Are you a shoeanista with no place local to find your style? Well, now you don't have to travel any further than Bren's Shoe Boutique, located at the Village on Jackson, 1940 North Jackson Street, Suite 120 in Tullahoma. From funky to formal, you can find the fit and style that will make you smile at Bren's. A shoeanista herself, owner Brenda Kemp offers brands like Rocket Dog, Jessica Simpson, Mia, Nine West, J. Renee, Bandolino, and more. Want that accessory splash that none of your friends have? Bren's offers a selection of one-of-a-kind handbags and jewelry with just the right bling. So if your shoe selection doesn't stack up, find what you've been looking for at a price you can afford at Bren's Shoe Boutique, now open in Tullahoma.
Take your medicine?
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse. Need a claim number? Her personal assistant. Let me just grab her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at CD Stamps, and it's Martin Luther King Day, and we're getting ready to have the walk that we have every year. There's the mayor coming in, all different kind of people. There's the elder statesman right there. Look at that, look at that. Isn't that great? It's great right there. There's a big crowd here at CD Stamps, and we'll get this walk started off here just in a minute. There's Mayor Curley right there.
Oh yeah, we got a nice little crowd, nice small little crowd, but Chief, everything's gonna be all right. We'll stay behind one another, and we're gonna make this thing work this morning. How you all feel this morning? Good, good. Blessed. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. I didn't get a chance to see the rising of the sun this morning, but I can feel it. Amen. I can feel it right on my back. I know this is going to be a great day. Amen. As we reflect back, we look at all the wonderful things that the Lord has done for us, all the prosperity and a good health today. So some of you were here last year, you're here today. So, you know, we have something to be thankful for. Yeah, this is another day's journey this year, 2015. And we all ought to rejoice and be glad. See the mayor back there? Good to have you aboard. And I'm going to ask Pastor Murdoch if he'll lead us in prayer, and then we're going to line up and we're going to march down to the other flagpole at City Hall, and we're going to have another prayer and return back here. Amen? Yeah. Amen. You don't sound like you agree. Can we do it on one accord? Amen.
And the march is leaving CD stamps. They will walk to City Hall and then turn around and come back. It's a good group this morning. Everybody marching, celebrate Martin Luther King.
Now that means you want to step it up.
Yeah, look, there's the chiefs in the back there. And they'll be headed down Jackson Street. And then followed up by the Tullahoma Fire Department. All right, folks, and here they come past the viaduct, the bridge coming into town. They're coming up Jackson Street right now, headed toward downtown Tullahoma in honor of Martin Luther King. This is many years we've done this here in Tullahoma, where churches and members of the community get together and walk in celebration of Martin Luther King and what Dr. King stood for. There's Marlene Curley, Gary Cardell, Tom, all these young people. There's Bobby. Look at them walking. Babies walking. Moms and dads walking. Everybody in here together. Hey, Cliff.
Hey, how's it going, John?
Fine. Look at that pretty dog right there. And a good-looking girl, too. And as we look from City Hall, we can see the group approaching downtown, where they will gather at the flagpole at City Hall. And the group has reached the main block downtown.
Has started. I think we're on to something this morning. I think we're on for something for the rest of the year. But this is the start of the year. If it goes this well, the rest of the year, we have something to be proud of. The city of Tullahoma will have something to be proud of. All of you that came out to support this march this morning. Just want to thank you. Just want to thank you. Hallelujah.
All right, now they're headed back to CD stamps, and there'll be events going on down there for the rest of the morning. A joyous day.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. we help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us now on Living Andy Harvey, who is the proprietor of Harvey's Gyms in Tullahoma and Columbia.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, Andy.
Thanks so much.
I found out something from Andy before we came on here just a moment ago, that Andy used to own a chain of these all across Tennessee.
Yeah, I did. We had 11 gyms from really right outside of Memphis all the way through Middle Tennessee into Kentucky. Sure.
Whatever motivated you to get into this?
I always loved fitness. You know, I was a kid. I looked at the comic books. If you remember, had the Charles Atlas ads.
Yes,
I looked at the Charles Atlas ads, and it was just something I always wanted to do. And when I was a kid, I would save my money in the summer, I remember, and I bought those old springs that they used to have in the old bull workers. I had those, and I bought heavy bags and speed bags and the little dumbbells that you trade out. And every evening I put together a little program that I did while my brother was inside watching TV, or the rest of the family. And it was just something that I always enjoyed. And as I got older, I was looking to get into amateur boxing, and there wasn't an amateur boxing at Columbia at the time, so I got into karate that led into kickboxing, that led into me owning my own karate school, and then that led me into the gym, and that's where I've stayed.
You told me something a little bit earlier about why you decided to quit the kickboxing.
Well, that was funny, because back in the day, I won the light heavyweight professional championship in Tennessee, and I won the Southeastern USA Nationals and the state championship 3 years in a row. But that was all back in the 70s. And in the gym, at the Columbia gym the other day, this young guy, because people don't know me for that, at least not the young people, but a guy was younger. He told me, he said, I was talking to my daddy the other day, and he said, my dad said, you've been involved in a lot of sport fighting and that type of stuff. And he said, what made you decide that fighting wasn't cool? And I said, when it looked like I was fixing to start losing. That wasn't a hard decision.
Now, and you currently still own the two gyms, the one in Tullahoma and the one in Columbia. And I would guess that at the time you got into this, that's when this fitness craze was really beginning to take hold. It was probably a good time to be in that business.
Well, what we tried to do, I opened up the first gym in Columbia in 1982. And I was a fireman as well, and so I continued to do that for years. And then I opened up the second gym in Pulaski, excuse me, several years later, and it took off real well, so I decided to keep going from there. Tullahoma was actually my fourth gym. But what I did is I looked around at rural areas, and it seemed like that people that were putting in gyms in rural areas was not investing much money, and they was just getting a handful of used stuff and trying it in a little building somewhere. and it's just not going to work if you do it that way. So what we tried to do was to put a Nashville type gym and downscale it to fit the community or the amount of people in the community, but try to make it a first class big town gym. And that's what we did, and we've luckily, with God's blessing, been very successful with it.
And you're seeing some video, I believe that's the Tullahoma facility.
It is.
Yeah. And that's some kind of the cardio?
Yeah, it is. We just got through remodeling that gym. We put in some new cardio, I think, last year or year before, and we just put in more new equipment now. But we've just got through completely remodeling the gym. So if you haven't been there in a while, we'd really like to invite everyone back out. For it's a really new gym almost again.
Right. How long has this Tullahoma store been?
Tullahoma's been here, I think it's been about 12 years now.
Yeah, okay. Do I recall that it's open 24/7?
Again, what we tried to do years ago was trying to make it accessible to everybody and their schedule, because time is what people really don't have a lot of, is time. And so everybody told me not to do that. Every lawyer, everybody said don't do it this way, but we did, and it's worked really well. What we did is we have a fingerprint system that matches an access code that allows you to come 24/7, and by not having, it's your gym. It's basically your gym. You come anytime you want, Christmas Day, any day. But by doing it with this fingerprinting code, it doesn't have me to have someone at a desk with his head on the desk at 3 o'clock in the morning just to be there, where I have to excuse me, I have to pass that cost on down to you.
Sure.
So there's really no reason for that. So we was able to do it this way and able to keep the cost down. And like I said, we've had 11 gyms like this, and they've always worked wonderful. I have never even had a lady tell me that they've ever been made to feel uncomfortable at 3 o'clock. That was our big worry. But it's never really happened. We run the gyms, all of them. They're very clean, and we run them on a faith-based. I'm very big in my faith, and we keep our morals that way, and it's always done very well.
Right. And there's a lot of positive reasons why one should actually work out and keep themselves in shape.
Well, you know, Jerry and I was talking, because Jerry comes to the gym. We were talking about a while ago, and I think sometime when you're 70 or you're 80, I don't think anybody's ever going to say, you know, I'm glad I stopped going to that gym. I think they're either going to say, I'm glad I kept going, or I wish I had of. And there's different reasons for coming. People have different reasons. To me, if you're wanting to be a bodybuilder, if you're wanting to enter the Mr. Tennessee contest or whatever, if that gym is run right, you should be able to come and do that comfortably. If you're wanting to just lose 5 pounds for the class reunion, you should be able to come and do that comfortably. And I think that's the way our gym runs. But now that when I first started working out in my 20s, and now I'm knocking on that 60 door, my goal has changed a little bit. I still want to do the best that I can do, but my goals have changed a little bit. I think if you're 20 and you want to come to the gym, there's not a better place to be. I mean, what better can you be than taking care of yourself? But if you're over 40, if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, and we have them on up into the late 80s, then you have to be there. My goal now is to enjoy the step of life I'm in and the next one that's coming. So I think, like I said, if you're 20, you want to come, it's wonderful. But if you're a little older, I think it's a necessity of life. I think the biggest, our bodies change as we age, for sure. I think one of the biggest physical changes is the loss of muscle mass, because we're not as active, and our hormones change too. But that can be slowed down tremendously if you just have a regular, it doesn't have to be a super hard one, but it has to be a regular exercise regimen. And we have Tim Anderson is the manager here in Tullahoma and the head trainer, and he is absolutely wonderful. And I appreciate him as a man and as a friend. But every time I walked in the gym, which I'm here weekly because I'm in the other gym too, every time I come in, somebody is singing Tim's praises, and I want to say, I already know. I appreciate him too. I already know.
So, you know, this is yeah, especially for, as you mentioned, Annie, this is, you know, a lot of you folks are at the point in your life where you really need to do that, because people are, number one, are living a lot longer, and you know, the quality of life is really important to us. So, you know, you need to take care of yourself.
Right. We also have a large following in group fitness. We have Debbie. Well, we have several instructors, but Debbie Kirkpatrick and Carla Bloom has a huge following in group fitness. They're very good. They're very dedicated, and they've been doing it for years. And they're going to make you feel very welcome in a group fitness class as well, if that's what someone enjoys doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you comment? And I don't want to put you on the spot, because I know you. Andy told me he might not remember the phone number of the gym.
393-4535.
Okay, all right. So, you know, if someone would like to become a part of that,
sure.
What steps do they take to do that?
You can call the gym. It's again 931-393-4535. I did remember. I was afraid I'd forget it in the spot. But we're located at 449 West Lincoln. We've been there for, like I said, 12 years. You can call the gym. Since the door is always on, the door is always locked. That's for your privacy and security. So it's your private gym. Again, you have an access code and a fingerprint that gets you in. But you can stop by the gym during office hours, or you can call the gym and we'll be glad to set up a time with you. You can follow us on Facebook. It's a Harvey's Gym of Tullahoma. But you know, we have, even when we're not there, we have the phones forwarded to us. So I mean, we're a real mom and pop type thing. We really are personal with it. It's not just a number thing for us. So we have the phones forwarded to us even when we're not there. So we'd be glad to set up you know, membership appointments outside those hours. But you know, I have my cell phone for my people, and I don't mind them calling me for anything. And I get phone calls sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. We wake up, we take them. But I had somebody call me one time and said, Andy, I hate to bother you, said, but I don't remember. Did you say it was okay to eat sweet potatoes or not to eat sweet potatoes? And that's okay with me. You know, that's what I do. I'm lucky enough to get to make a living at something that I truly enjoy doing, so you know, that my phone can be ring. That's okay. You know.
All right, folks. You know, chances are really good. I'm gonna have to wrap this up, but chances are really good. You may see somebody there, you know.
Oh, you will.
There's a lot of folks that
you will
that are taking a part of this.
Sure, you will. I mean, there's going to be somebody, you know, I promise that.
All right. Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Quite interesting.
And thank y'all very much.
Okay. Really. So stop by Harvey's Gym right here in Tullahoma on West Lincoln Street, folks. We'll be right back with more living right after this.
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away, and choosing the right seat for your little one's age and size will take you down the road to safer travels.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Welcome back. I have on the set with me today Ellen Stowers, and she is with Contact Lifeline, and I've just enjoyed talking to you so much, Ellen. I'm so glad you're here, because I think what you're doing is something that everybody needs to know about, and it is very important. And you told me you were a suicide survivor.
Yes, ma'am.
And the fact that you're doing this really is
it's
important.
a passion.
And it makes you share what you have learned. Tell me a little bit about what you all are looking for at Contact Lifeline.
First of all, we need volunteers. I mean, we're always in need of volunteers.
All right, I'm fixing to give a phone number right now.
Okay.
Then we'll go on with that. 1-800-454-8336.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. That's
okay.
right.
And that's for people who know.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll mention it again.
And then something else that we're starting this year, February 9th, we're starting a suicide survivors group for those that have lost their loved ones to suicide. It gives them a place to kind of go and know that they're not alone, that they're not going through the remainder of the journey alone.
Now, at that meeting, if there's people that have contemplated suicide, do you encourage them to come also? Or is this just for their...
It's just for those that's been left behind for right now. That our goal is to cater to those that are suicidal or survivors of suicide ideation, I guess is the word that we're looking for.
And I think maybe people don't realize how it escalates when a family member or a close friend commits suicide.
Yeah,
how it overpowers the family, and people feel guilty, do they, sometimes?
They do. A lot of the family members that are left behind are wondering, what did they do wrong? How could they have stopped it? You know, they take that guilt on themselves. For being a survivor myself, I know that while you're inside that really deep, dark bubble, your thoughts are, if I'm not here, my family will be better off. So it's kind of like the reverse, and it's not. It's not.
Never that way.
It's not.
It hurts your children, your husband,
It hurts everybody.
Your
friends,
mother, your father,
yeah.
your friends. It affects. It just
It
ripples.
affects everybody.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm so proud of you for being a survivor. Do you know what it is that pulled you out of the deep hole?
Personally, it was divine intervention at that point. I had a 1-year-old, or she was less than a year old. I was going through postpartum depression. Being a military career person, I was miles away from my home, from my mom.
Were you military, or was it your
My husband was military.
Your husband?
So I was a dependent for 18 years of his 22-year career. But at that point, I mean, you know, away from home, I grew up in a very small town where everyone knew each other, and here I was, I felt isolated.
You felt isolated.
And that was being a military. A lot of military dependents can relate to that, you know. Always, you know, deployments were coming up. Thankfully, my husband at that point was not being deployed, but it was just, I felt like a married single mom, if that makes sense.
And there's a lot of that.
And then I was going through, I'm an abuse survivor from childhood. So those memories were coming back. It was stuff I had never dealt with. I thought
so it was all just going through your head,
everything was just coming on.
And in your mind, you felt like you would be better off if you weren't there.
Exactly.
Or they would be better off.
Exactly.
Which, of course, is wrong.
Amen. You got to choose life. I mean, that's something that's my biggest thing is I can remember being in there, I had everything planned out. You know, my daughter would go to bed at a certain time, take a nap, so I would feed her. I knew to give her a bath. She'd sleep for however many hours. My husband would come home at such and such an
And he'd
hour for
find
lunch.
you. Yeah.
So I knew that, you know, he would find me and she would be asleep, so she would be okay. That was always in the back of my head.
But it didn't
my daughter.
happen because
I looked up and said, God help me. If this
Yeah.
is not what I'm supposed to do, you know, stop me.
So you really were at your wits' end.
I was at my
that time.
very last. I mean, that was my last
And so
ditch
that's where
effort.
Contact Lifeline comes
Yes.
in. When a person is feeling some of these feelings that you felt, they can call this number and someone will talk to them.
Yes, ma'am. We're there 24/7. If you don't get an answer, leave us a message. We will call you back.
That's wonderful.
That's the biggest thing. I know in the past, you'd have to keep trying to call in.
So is there training for people that are going to be the ones that answer the calls?
Yes, ma'am. You go through a 24-hour, what we call class training, and you learn everything from how to just sit quietly and listen to, you know, what do you do for somebody who's depressed? What do you do for someone who's suicidal? So it's a 24-hour course.
I have a question. Like if somebody calls someone on the Lifeline and they are really threatening suicide seriously, does the Lifeline person interrupt their...
We talk with them. We're basically there. We listen, and while we're listening there, we're also gathering the information. If they are in the midst of a suicide crisis,
do you call police?
We call police. We call mobile crisis. We have a whole group of people that we can call. Mobile crisis goes out to the cops. Will show up, and it's not like it used to be where if you called the police, you know, they come. Light sirens, handcuff you, put you in the back of the car.
Quietly.
They actually come in quietly, talk with you, and then get you to the help that you need, to the emergency room for a mental health evaluation.
So obviously your desire to be in this position that you're in is because of your own experience, and you got help, and so you want to help others.
Yes.
How many counties is involved in this program?
We service 7 counties now.
Oh, wow.
As we've been 4 counties for over 30 years. It was just Bedford, Coffee, Moore, and I forgot what. Franklin. We're now housed in Franklin. So we were in Coffee County for many years, but we've recently moved into Franklin County. So it's been wonderful. But now we're Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy, Lincoln, Moore, Warren
That's
County.
wonderful. So people from all those counties can call this
us,
number to get help.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would suggest anyone that is feeling some of these feelings, even on a small scale, if they just write that number down and keep, because some people don't have anybody to call.
No,
and that, to me, that's got to be the saddest thing in the world.
It is, and if you know someone who's, you know, isolated, that's all of a sudden not taking care of themselves, you know, they're just really out of character,
And,
give them the number, share
let's
it
tell
with
them
them.
again when you're having this meeting.
We're doing the meeting on February 9th. It's at St. Betty's Church in Manchester, which is at 93.
St. Betty's, is that Catholic?
It's an Episcopal church.
Okay.
They've, we're trying to get a central location for all 7 counties, so that's about as central as we get right now.
Okay.
You know, it's accessible from Interstate 24, but it's from 7 to 8. So it's the second Monday of February.
Second Monday in February, and if you want more information on it, just call that number.
Just call the number.
And get all the information that you need. And I would suggest anyone that, like, if sometimes bipolar disease, alcoholics, addicts.
Yes.
There's lots of different reasons that some people want to commit suicide.
Exactly.
And so always be alert to the signals.
Yes.
Well, you know what, Ellen? Our time is almost up. Any last words?
Just if you know anyone that you've deep in your gut that you feel, or if they're talking about suicide, wanting to die, even kids. I mean, that seems to be the thing. If such and such doesn't happen, I'm gonna kill myself. Stop them and ask the question: are you serious? Are you really wanting to take your life? If they give you a yes, call that number. Call the 1-800 number.
Get serious about it.
Yes.
Because it's a serious problem in this country.
Is. It's
Ellen
robbing us.
Stowers, I'm so glad you came today.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be
you're
here.
a wonderful person. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
what you
much.
do. We'll be back with more of Living.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pink. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Argue and carry on.
And the reason we have Kurt on today is after how long? About 3 years of working and trying to get something done about our swimming facilities. We are right in the middle of building a splash park.
We call it a water park.
Water park, yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. Well, actually, we're kind of on the final legs, I guess, because all the planning and and all that going up to it's actually been as much or as long as the construction process. And we're in the middle of the construction process right now and coming along well.
Yeah. Well, what I did is went over and shot a little video, and what we're going to do is put that up. And while that's being played, Kirk's going to sort of describe what's going on here. And that's over at that's the street that's cut off.
Right. That is Hogan Street that runs in between Cedar Lane and Collins Street. So the community center in that picture is on the left. And that road, Hogan Street, will be closed and it'll only be one lane traffic. And the whole parking lot will be enlarged right there in between the community center and where Imagination Station was.
Oh, great.
And all that, so it'll all be one big parking lot there, and with an exit only from Hogan Street on to Cedar Lane.
So that's why all those big tiles are down there as you're covering all that up. Now, I don't know what this is. You say those might be filter boxes?
Yeah, those are actually, it's very sophisticated kind of filters they have now for the pool. It's a huge box in ground. It's a gravity sand filter, they call it.
And I'm just sort of roving around here. I know that's the floor, and y'all just got through pouring all that.
Right. If anyone saw the activity that was going on down there Saturday, that was their concrete trucks and the large boom were pouring the floor of the swimming pool. So the entire floor was poured on Saturday, and you took these pictures on Sunday. So it's covered up there with plastic.
Now, what is that? Is that sort of a rainbow sprinkler?
Yeah, that is a rainbow spray feature that is there, and there'll be several other features like that.
All right, and this is a river?
That is the picture of the Lazy River right there, or a portion of the Lazy River. The actual Lazy River will be, it's 300 feet around, so it's 100 yards, Lazy River, and it'll be, and it has adjustable flow pumps that push the flow around, so we can get it up to a higher
there's sort of an overview right there of the whole thing.
And the middle part of the Lazy River there will be an island that a little bridge goes to that will have a lot of lounge chairs and a good place for the patrons to hang out on.
Yeah. So that I noticed that the concrete slopes from almost nothing up on the end next to the existing building look like there might be that much water where you can just walk right down.
Right, yes, it's called a zero entry or a beach entry.
Right.
So just think of it just like a beach. The concrete will just slope right down into the pool, and the water will just come up like it would on a beach.
So you can just lay down and get as deep in as you want to be.
That's right, yeah. It'll go at 4.5 feet at the deepest.
It's the deepest.
And there's a lot of other features. We have 3 big slides that will be 25 feet tall.
Oh, that's good.
And then they curve around and everything. So 2 of them are 160 feet long. So that's about 50 yards long. Picture it just curving around. And then the other one's a little shorter, but it's a speed slide. It'll just shoot you down faster. So you have 3 different choices there on slides. Then we have there'll be basketball goals, and there'll be a 10-foot climbing wall, so the children can climb up this wall, and if they don't make it, they just fall back into the pool.
That's great.
There's all kinds of, just the little dumping buckets like you've seen at other water parks, and a lot of spray
stuff
features
squirting
like
up
that.
in the air.
There's bubblers that will come up in the first part of it. The splash pad area that we'll call it is right at the entry. We'll have bubblers that shoot up, and they'll have LED lights underneath them, so at night it will look like lighted water coming up out
so
of the ground.
that's where maybe a younger child could walk and walk on a flat surface.
Yeah,
and water spraying up, and they get to dance around and water spraying up.
We have for all ages.
Yeah, that's great.
And right there at the entrance also, there is a large shade structure that has all kinds of spray features under it. So infants and things like that maybe shouldn't be out in the sun so much could be under there in the shade and still enjoy the water.
And now I noticed that there's a pretty big hole knocked in the back of your building. Right now.
Yeah.
Now, I forget what's right inside there. Is that the indoor pool right there?
Well, yes, the indoor pool's right there, and we're also renovating the indoor pool as part of this process. Major renovations, putting in some new steps going into it, a whole new gutter system that makes it compliant with all the new competitive swimming regulations. That's major upgrades to that indoor pool.
I think some of the other things, isn't there something about where the places where they stand to take off or dive in, or
we're putting in
I forget what it's called, starting blocks.
Yeah,
there
we're
you
putting
go.
in new starting blocks that will be easy to remove when it's not being used for competitive swimming. So we'll have that. And we're also putting in a climbing wall in the indoor pool as well. It's deeper water. It goes to 12 feet deep, so that climbing wall can be higher, and it'll be 17 feet tall. So
my goodness!
So they'll be able to. So we're adding not only the competitive area
and
to the
taking. That's
pool,
one thing. When we were during the discussion of what we needed over there was a lot of discussion by swim club people and everything about compliance and being able to use our facility for competitive swimming, and so all of those issues are being taken care of.
Yeah, all that's being taken care of.
They should be happy.
Yes, they'll be very happy
when all this is over.
When we reopen, another thing, state-of-the-art feature that we're adding to the indoor pool, it's called an evacuator system that is that goes in with the new gutter in the pool, and it pulls off all the harmful chlorine fumes off the top of the pool. And so it's supposed to be a lot better air quality and better for competitive swimming. So,
right.
So that will be an added feature too.
Now, when all this is completed, and the back of your building, like I said, there's a big hole there. Will there be view from the indoor pool into the outdoor facility? Are you going to have glass along there? Will that be
not at the back at? Not at this point. We've got just the small windows that are in the indoor pool now that will show into the outdoor pool. There's a lot where you're talking about the hole. That's actually like a garage door or a big bay door there.
Okay.
In the future, we're thinking about maybe making that as a glass door, but not as this part of the renovation. It's not.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I guess if you have competitive swimming in there, you probably need a wall to put some bleachers on too, don't you?
Yeah, we'll have that long wall there. We'll be able to put some kind of seating in for meets. But
well, are you pleased with how everything's going?
Yeah, it's going well. They're going on schedule. We're scheduled to open the outdoor pool on Memorial Day weekend.
That's great.
And the indoor pool will open sometime before that.
Well, you know, Kurt, thanks. Thanks for coming over and sharing this information with us, because, you know, a lot of our people who watch these shows don't get an opportunity to drive down that way and hadn't seen what's going on. And I know a lot of the people are there's some old citizens that are homebound and interested but can't get out and see, and this gives them an opportunity to see and hear about what's going on. And I know that these kids are going to be tickled to death not to have to make the trip to Manchester this summer to get in some water.
Oh, that's right. We'll
be glad to have them here, won't we?
Yes, we will. Yeah, and we'll have a lot of people traveling in from other places to come to this pool.
I bet they will. Kurt Glick, thanks, buddy. Appreciate what you do always. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com, featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
TV land, it's a pleasure to join you today. And camera ladies, good morning. Thank you, John, for that introduction. We've had some responses to our trash talk a couple of weeks ago on garbage, but a lot of people said, well, I didn't know that. Well, that's what this program's all about, sharing some of those wonderful moments with you that have happened in the many years ago and are happening right now. And I want to discuss with you a topic that never has an end to it. There's so many facets of it. It's been part of our community for many, many years, and that's the railroads. What about the railroads? We've shared some things about the railroads before, but a little bit different twist to it this morning. I'd like to share with you some of the famous or infamous people that have ridden the rails and have graced our city from time to time. For example, many, many years ago in the middle 30s, there was a famous gangster by the name of Al Capone from Chicago, and the officers were transporting him to the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary, and he rode the Dixie Flyer from Chicago to Atlanta, and word got out that he was going to be on that train one morning, up in the morning, and so sure enough, they they let him, the officers let him go out on the observation platform at the end of the train, and I remember we watched him, and he had a big wide brim hat on, and I'm sure an expensive suit that he'd been wearing as leader of the gangsters in Chicago, and he reached up to take his hat off to wave to people, and sure enough, one half of the handcuffs was still on his wrist. But it was interesting, and to read about or hear about a person like that on the radio, and then to see him come through Tullahoma. And another well-known person that came through town one time on the train was Lindbergh, the famous flyer that flew the Atlantic Ocean and soloed many years ago. But Lindbergh, that's been part of our history and part of our country for a long time. I remember too that one time the President of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt, was on a train from Warm Springs, Georgia to Chicago, and I don't know for what reason, whether the weather was bad, which certainly wouldn't have made any difference on the railroad, but it might have been rough or whatever, but they had this, of course, the presidential train, and it backed up in the siding that goes to up the branch line, and they parked his train there that night between what is now the Mid-South Uniform Company and the Exxon gas distributorship there, and the FBI, I mean the Secret Service, was all over town that night, just making sure everything was secure, you know. And I thought it was interesting that they'd back into Tullahoma to let the president have a good night's sleep there without the train running. And of course, you know that Tullahoma has the widest street in the world, bisected by the railroad. It was built between 1850 and 1855, well known throughout the world as the widest street in the world in Tullahoma, Tennessee. And then one little side note about the railroads of some celebrities, infamous celebrities that graced our city was the hobos. We had a lot of hobos that came through on the freight trains especially back in the early and middle 30s, and they were people just like us that had fallen on hard times or liked to travel or whatever, and they would stop and go to some of the homes along the Atlantic Street there and ask for some food, and you know, they never did cause any trouble at all. They were mostly gentlemen. Never saw any female hobos, but we saw a whole lot of men hobos, from youngsters to oldsters alike. And one famous one in particular went to the R.H. Mitchell home that before it burned stood on South Atlantic Street right in front of Hogg's Hardware Company there on the corner of Warren and Atlantic. And this hobo asked for a handout, which they gave him, and asked him, I think, to spend the night with him, which he did. But he didn't have any money to pay, but said, I'm an artist and I would like to decorate one of your rooms. And so they wondered about him, but anyway, he did. They got some paint for him, and in their sitting room, he decorated that room with beautiful artwork from the baseboard all the way up to the ceiling and around the mantelpiece and the walls and around the windows. And that building was sold 15 or 20 years ago, and the family asked me if I would go down there and photograph that room that the hobo had painted, which I did, and it's beautiful. The ceiling and all was just real beautiful. And of course, time went on, and there weren't many hobos. And I think there's an association or a club, whatever they call themselves, the Hobos of America, that have a reunion in Iowa every year that's interesting. But of course, the other people that we know well that have come through on the train that we probably didn't get any publicity on it, but they came through. And one of the most important and well-liked and popular pieces of railroad equipment that came through Tullahoma was the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey's circus. When they moved from Nashville to Chattanooga, there were 4 trains. The Cook train went through first real early in the morning, and then the animals and went through on the second train, and the third and fourth train were the actors and acrobats and circus administration crew. And one time my grandfather told me that the circus train was ahead of schedule, so they stopped in Tullahoma to feed and water their animals, and they thought, well, we'll just put on a little show here in Tullahoma for the folks here. And there was a vacant lot a couple of blocks up on East Grundy Street, and they took some of the elephants and tigers and some of the others up there and put on about a 30 or 40-minute show for the folks in Tullahoma, and they really, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Of course, the circus now, I think, goes by truck mostly, but that was a real treat for the Tullahoma people to see. And I'd like to say this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. And we hope in the meantime you have a good day and a good week. Thank you.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Session, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you, or at crackerbarrel.com.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
He is anal. Okay. Welcome back to Living, ladies and gentlemen. My friend Max Northcott just had a nice comment about former Mayor David Penny over here, and I'm sure you heard that. So,
well,
if that's just the way it is, Max,
Jim,
I mean, what can we say?
When they call a river cafe, and it ain't even near a river, I told him Jiffy Burger's closer to the Duck River than that river.
It's near the Duck River.
Yeah, but I think Jiffy Burger's closer.
No.
You don't know. You ain't measured. You're a surveyor.
I
want you to survey it. Let me know which one's closer.
Based on the fact that Max is a surveyor, I'll take his word. Yeah, I'm going with Max.
He's just going to say
I'm
that.
going with Max.
You cross the bridge down there, and then you get right up there, and there's the cafe.
You know, right before.
Well, you can throw a rock in Duck River from Jiffy Burger.
Max says it's closer.
Awning.
End of story.
Okay.
Told you what he was.
Yeah, he did. Max did.
All right, well, I guess we need to get into what we're here for.
Well, yeah, because Julia, one of our producers here, came up to me and said, you and David and Max are going on next. And she said, you know what we're supposed to be talking about? I said, I don't have a clue. She said, well, y'all been in there talking for an hour. I said, we was talking about something else. I had no idea. We are here, however, to talk about David's new and Max's new show on WMSR.
I'm just a sidekick.
Yeah, but where would he be without you, Max?
There's a great American tradition of sidekicks. You got Daniel Boone and Mingo, and
what about Frog House?
The Ranger and Tonto and Batman and Robin.
Right.
What about Frog House?
Got a lot to live up to.
Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
That's right.
So.
Anyway,
really, what we're talking about, this is going on the 16th year of Let's Talk Antiques, and I don't know why, but me and Jim was talking one day, and after I left the mayor's office, I thought, well, why are we not filming Let's Talk Antiques?
Yeah, and let's be clear that David has had the show for 16 years on WMSR radio station, and comes on at 8 o'clock on
8 to 9
on Wednesday mornings. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, well, and I thought, well, we did a show called Coffee County Memories and More for several years, but we shoulda, and what you shoulda and coulda is different things, but we should have been filming Let's Talk Antiques the whole time. I don't know why didn't you think of that? You're the television guy.
I don't know. As I've been in this for a while and gotten a little bit older, it takes me a while to catch on to stuff.
We're on track, and this is going to be, this coming Wednesday will be our third show. The first one was about the uncalled for. The second show we did was about corn collecting, and this new show, the new one we're going to do this Wednesday is about lunchboxes. Is a really hot item right now, especially the old Western lunchboxes. And so we're going to do a show about the lunchboxes and the value of them.
And some of these things, just so you guys will know, this show replays on television here on Charter 193 at John.
Well, 6 o'clock on Wednesday.
You know this, okay? All right.
And I think it's 9 o'clock on Friday night and 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay.
But you can go to YouTube and watch it anytime you want to.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Just to let everybody know that Max is not a newcomer, and Max, you need to do more talking than what you're doing right now. Max is not a newcomer to this because he had a show. I started in '99, and he started the show in '98. You might want to tell him a little bit.
Started a bluegrass show in '98.
And it's still going on, isn't it?
Yeah, some others are continuing on with it now, but we started it in June of '98, and pretty popular, I guess. And Becky Buller has taken it on now to a new level, and she's got access to national. She's put it on the songs that they play on there on the national list of songs for airplay and that kind of thing. The survey, I guess, the national survey. So she's got us on that now. So
where's it ranked at now, Max?
I don't. Oh, her songs. Last month she had 2 singles, 6 and 19 in the top 30.
No kidding.
And the album was number 6 of the top 10.
Yeah, that's great.
Albums,
yeah.
Or no, the top 15. 6 of the top 15 albums. She's really got a nice album out now.
Yeah,
and it's really doing well.
Cool. Let's expand a little bit on the lunchbox thing, because part of what you guys do is try to help people understand the value, I would imagine, of these. Is that a fair assessment, Dave?
Oh, absolutely.
And lunchbox are something that we all probably had at some point.
Sure you did.
Growing up.
They were really popular from the 60s right up into the mid-70s, and especially the Western ones. There was over 100 different Western shows going on in the late 60s, and I didn't realize that. I think of Gunsmoke and Maverick and, Wild Wild West and a few like that, but over 100 and something shows. I don't know the exact number, but like you said, every kid had to have a lunchbox.
Absolutely. And Max, I assume that you're into this antique thing as well. I heard. Do you collect antiques as David does?
My niche has been the war between the states relics. I used to hunt. I found a couple of camps while I was hunting, and collected a few things. I sold him some things.
Do you want to tell the story about the gun, or should we not even go there?
I don't even want to go there.
Okay. Just wondering.
And
well, I bet that.
But anyway, you don't want to hear that. Anyway, I did sell him some stuff, and we traded around back and forth, but he has opened up the whole spectrum of things that I was not even aware of. His niche is these gas pumps and Coca-Cola machines and Sundrop signs and soft drink signs and things that I had no idea. He has gotten into it and has learned the value, learned how to buy. And that's the whole thing, I think, that what he's trying to get to is to try to teach people how to become good, smart buyers and buy at the right price and know what the value of what they're buying and selling is. And he, just like last week, the guest on there was talking about silver coins. John Hirschman said that they had bought some coins in 1980 something or 90 something.
86 or 7.
A few dollars, and now they're worth.
We bought them for $6 a piece, and he said it was worth about 75 each.
Unbelievable, yeah.
So get a pretty good turnover with investment like that. So I think that's the key thing that David keeps talking about is maybe learning, teaching people or helping people learn whatever their little niche is, whether it's a lunchbox or a coin or a sign or whatever, learning how to buy and hold it for a while and then maybe turn a profit on it.
Sure. And you know, I've you know how I am, Jim, about stuff. So I've tracked Coke machines and gas pumps. And every 8 years, I've tracked them for over 20. Every 8 years, the value of those things have doubled.
No kidding.
Doubled.
And you still own several of those.
Oh, I got 67 or so Coke, different styles of Coke machines. I don't know if now.
And some of these still work.
Oh yeah. Well, matter of fact, we got a little Vendo 23, which when you hear that number 23 or 44 or whatever that number may be, that's how many bottles that machine will vend. We got a little 23 at the house that vends on a dime that, you know, it's 1940s that still cools and works just like it was brand new. And you know, the grandkids and the visitors and all, they enjoy going in there. And of course, I took the dime thing. I just got it now where all I got to do is turn the handle.
Right. Unbelievable. So do you still require people to put a dime in?
No, I just go ahead and, you know, the thing costs about $1. So there's no sense of getting them to give me a dime. Right?
What about the ones that used to have the cold water?
Oh yeah, I've got a few of those. Those reach-ins.
Yeah.
You know, they had those two different ways. They had them just with ice originally. They'd set on the counter. I've got the original small counter ones that was in the 20s, like for country stores. They just hold maybe 20-something drinks.
Yeah.
But they originally just was ice fed, and you had to put the ice in there, and that's why they had that towel. Even the liquid ones, they had the towel there so you could wipe the bottles off, so when you put them in the cartons, they wouldn't. Sure. And then they went on and started doing the compressor stuff, and still had the water.
Right.
But I think Max is right about what we're talking about here about the show. I want to educate people so they can go to the flea market and antique stores. There is plenty of value at these flea markets and antique stores where you can buy and actually make money and supplement your income if you'll watch our show and let us educate you.
Right. Okay. Now, our ultimate goal is we want to be able to simulcast that, and then as soon as we overcome some technical issues, that show will be live as they do it on WMSR. But again, it replays now, and David, give us those times.
Well, it's Wednesday at 6, Friday at 9, Sunday at 3, and then you can go to YouTube and watch it anytime you get ready.
Exactly.
Is that right, Max? Anytime you get ready.
Anytime.
Yeah, or you can go to our webpage, our website, Channel 6, the link, and
just jump.
And it'll be.
Oh, another thing that they wanted me to mention is I've got a Facebook page, and we do little 2 and 3 minute segments every Sunday about the stuff we found, and we're going to, as soon as I get through here, we're going to go to Philip and figure out how to link that in so that can be part of the show too.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming by today. I know this little segment here has been a short part of all that I've learned today, because I got the opportunity to talk to these guys for about an hour before we came on the air today. It's amazing what you can learn down here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People,
Well, I enjoy coming over here. You know, even though I'm not the mayor, I still hang out in Tullahoma. Like I always
even
did.
though you're not the mayor,
I still hang out
we
here.
still like you, Dave.
Well, thank you.
You know,
thank you.
And Max, he's lucky to have you as a partner.
You ain't
still,
kidding.
I'm telling you. No matter what he says about you.
He's got the patience of Job.
Yeah, he does.
I told you what he is.
He did. And I'm not going to repeat it, but it's not all that bad. It's not all that bad.
It starts with an A.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's our friend.
All American?
All American. Folks, don't forget to tune in to David's show and watch the replays right here on Charter Channel 193. We're out of time for this segment. We'll be right back in a moment with more Living.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For the past 34 years, we've proudly served you in the new and pre-owned automotive industry. We look forward to serving you many years to come. We have over 1,000 vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com. That's Russell Barnett Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, GMC, and Ford of Winchester, and Russell Barnett Ford and Kia of Tullahoma. That's russellbarnett.com. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm so excited about the swimming pool.
Swimming pool?
That's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be good. I'm excited about the new antique show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am too.
And don't forget Contact Lifeline. That's important for people that are feeling suicidal. Very important. I think we had some good guests today.
We did. My congratulations to John and Philip.
They put stuff together in a good way.
Yeah.
And there you are with your
with
rooster
my
wear
rooster
hanging out of your pocket.
Significant about that is yesterday morning they had nothing.
Had nothing.
They had nothing, so look at it. Good job, guys.
But ideas. We always have
Always
plenty
have
of ideas, and we have plenty of good folks around here. There's always good things to talk about in our area, and getting folks up here to help them on Channel 193 and Channel 6 to get their message out. Because we go to 6 counties, and our website is channel6, the number 6, the link.com.
Oh, okay.
And you can see every show we do right there. So tell your friends who aren't on Charter to watch us there. And it's time to say
And
goodbye.
we'll be back next week.
Good night. Goodbye.